Hello friends, I'm George, the nice smelling gentleman. My last two videos were reviews of two fragrances that are basically trying to do the same thing, and that being an alternative to Creed's Millésime Imperial, Club de Nuit Milestone from Armaf, and Imperial from Hamidi. So the next logical step is to actually battle out these two fragrances or compare them in the same video. So today I'm going to do just that. If you enjoy my videos, guys, I would really appreciate if you hit the subscribe button. Okay, so before I move on to round number one, packaging and bottle design, I wanted to mention two interesting facts. The first one is that both Hamidi and Armaf are brands that are under the same umbrella of Sterling Parfums. And the second interesting fact is that the Hamidi fragrance actually contains no alcohol, so it's basically alcohol free. Okay, so the first round, the packaging and bottle design. This is the packaging of the Hamidi Addicted Imperial, which is the full name of this fragrance. It's a pretty plain looking white box with some black and golden accents on it. Unfortunately, I cannot find the my box of the Club de Nuit Milestone, but it has the same sort of color combination of white and golden colors. It should look something like this, and in my opinion it's a little bit more eye-catching and looks a little bit nicer compared to the Hamidi one. When it comes to the actual bottles, this is how the two bottles look. Again, as you can see, they are very similar. They have this pretty much all of the whole bottle is comes in golden color. On this one I got sort of a pretty squarish design, whereas here it's almost completely square. One thing that I have to mention is the fact that with Milestone from Armaf you get this transparent cut off around here, so you can see the level of juice inside your bottle. Both of them feel with pretty nice quality, but if I have to score the first round, I would say that I like the Milestone bottle a little bit better, and I like the whole presentation of Milestone better. So round number one goes to Armaf Milestone. Round number two is about the scent of the two fragrances. Now, as I said in the opening of this video, both of them are trying to do the same thing, and that being alternatives to Creed's Millésime Imperial. Now, one interesting fact here is that the Club de Nuit Milestone comes in EDP concentration, whereas the Hamidi Addicted Imperial is actually a parfum concentrated fragrance. So this has a higher concentration of parfum oil inside it. Another interesting thing is that if you try to search for the note breakdown of the two fragrances, you'll find that it's pretty much identical. Both of them contain notes like salty aquatic notes, red fruits, musk, vetiver, and so on. So they should smell exactly the same, at least on paper. But in reality, they're not identical. Now, with Club de Nuit Milestone, what you get is a really sharp, salty opening that contains a nice mix of that salty aquatic notes mixed with some melon notes that are not mentioned in the note breakdown. On the dry down, you get some of those red fruits, some of the musk, whereas the Hamidi Imperial, you also get a little bit of a sharp opening with that salty note mixed with the melon note, which is also not mentioned in the note breakdown of this fragrance. And the dry down becomes sweeter with the red fruits and the musk. But if I have to sort of explain how those two smells and how they differ, to my nose, the opening of Club de Nuit Milestone is sharper and the aquatic notes are stronger. That salty aquatic notes are quite stronger compared to Hamidi Imperial. Hamidi Imperial feels a little bit softer on the opening, and on the dry down, Hamidi Imperial feels quite a bit sweeter compared to Club de Nuit Milestone. So if I have to pick up a winner, basically based on which scent I actually enjoy more, the winner will have to be Imperial from Hamidi, because it has a less sharper, harsh opening compared to a Milestone. And also, to my nose, Hamidi Imperial is a little bit closer to the original Creed Number scent. 3 is about performance, and here the winner, of course, is the fragrance that has the better performance. Now, if I have to speak about total longevity on skin, Club de Nuit Milestone usually gives me somewhere between 8 to 9 hours of performance on my skin, whereas the Hamidi Addicted Imperial in my testing has reached the 8-hour mark. So Milestone on my skin, at least in my experience, is lasting a little bit longer compared to Imperial. When we talk about performance, when we talk about projection, I think the clear winner here is Club de Nuit Milestone. This fragrance is a really strong projecting fragrance for the first about hour and a half to 2 hours. Hamidi Imperial, in my testing, has been sort of a moderate projecting fragrance for about an hour and a half tops. And I think that's down to the fact that this contains no alcohol, first of all, so, and usually alcohol helps a little bit with the projection, and also because this is a higher concentration fragrance, which also at least in my experience, has turned out to be not a good thing when it comes to projection. So the winner in round number 3, the performance round, is Club de Nuit Milestone. Round number 4 is about pricing, and here the fragrance that carries the lower price tag is the winner of this round. But this round, in this case, is going to be a draw because in my experience, both fragrances usually cost around about the same amount of money. Club de Nuit Milestone goes for somewhere between $35 to $40, and the same case is with the Hamidi Addicted Imperial. This also goes for somewhere between $35 to $40. Now, one interesting fact is that Milestone comes in a 105 milliliter bottle size, whereas the Hamidi Addicted Imperial comes in a 120 milliliter bottle size. And round number 5 is about versatility, and here is going to be another draw because the two fragrances, the scent profile of the two fragrances is so incredibly close that basically the usage case scenario is the same, pretty much identical for the two fragrances. Both of them are heavily orientated towards warm weather. You know, they work best in warm to hot weather because of that salty aquatic notes, those fruit notes. They're really nice fragrances to use in the warmer months of the year. Also, the scent profile of both fragrances is perfectly unisex and can be used by both women and men without any problem. So round number 5, versatility, is going to be another draw. And on to the final results of this fragrance battle and my final thoughts about the two fragrances. Now, the winner of this fragrance battle, in my opinion, should be Club de Nuit Milestone from Armaf for two main reasons. First of all, this has better performance, better longevity on skin, and noticeably better projection compared to Hamidi Imperial. And the second reason why this is the winner in this fragrance battle is simply based on availability. Club de Nuit Milestone is a fragrance that's very easy to find, whereas the Hamidi Imperial is still relatively unknown in the Western markets, and that one is harder to find. So the winner of this fragrance battle is Club de Nuit Milestone. Now, just to add a few more thoughts at the end of the video, if you already own one of the two fragrances, it's redundant to get the other. One other interesting thing is the fact that I was a little bit disappointed by the performance of Hamidi Addicted Imperial, because this was a perfume concentrated fragrance. I expected this to have a better performance, at least, you know, better staying power on skin, but I was a little bit disappointed by the performance of Hamidi Imperial. So guys, in today's fragrance battle, I compared two fragrances that are actually coming from the same parent company, from Armaf, Club de Nuit Milestone, and from Hamidi Addicted Imperial. I hope that you found this video interesting. If you did, give it a like, and I also hope that I'm going to see you in my next video. Bye bye.